unsuccessful.
My friend who was raised in Long Island went back home before he moved to Pennsylvania, and he got a chicken fried steak. He's like, don't get a chicken fried steak in the north. I go, buddy, come on. Why would you do that? We were like, well, you obviously worded.
Another pickoff attempt at first base, and again unsuccessful. Diaz still setting 0-1 in the count.
Wesley commanding a lot of attention there at first. Hasn't shown off base stealing prowess yet.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Caught outside for ball number 1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Gloved high outside for ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Chop foul behind him.
So Phoebe, just so our viewers who cannot see, just to let them know, the bullpen for the Big Train is directly behind us down the first base line, and I turn around just to see what they're up to, and it looks like they are playing a game of Mafia as all of their heads are down with one man leading the charge at the front.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Diaz. He'll send that one down to center field. Wesley making it over safely to second base. And Diaz at first as number 8, Jackson Giacconi, steps up to the plate. Now with 2 runners on base, no outs on the board.
Yeah, the Big Train building a little mafia themselves on the base paths. And one of the issues they had, especially last game, was getting multiple runners on base in to score.
And really capitalizing on that situation.
Yeah, some issues with runners at scoring position. Let's see if they can change that today here in Largo.
Here comes the first offering to Giacconi. He went in for the bunt.
And a pretty smart call with no outs and runners on first and second, just trying to advance them into scoring position with as few outs as possible. I don't blame Giacconi for trying to lay down a bunt at all.
See if Diaz can command as much attention at first as Wesley did. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fouled off behind Giacconi. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Again, Giacconi going in for the bunt.
Pulling back at the last second, though, and a good call as that ball was ruled outside of the zone. Now Giacconi in a 2-1 count.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Giacconi going for the bunt again.
So on deck is Jack Guerrero.
Came in as a pinch hitter last night and subbing in over at first base. He'll be on first base again tonight. Here comes the 3-1. Giacconi going in for the bunt again. Fouled off behind him.
So now in a full count, Giacconi will likely have to pull back.
And swing.
Unless he is irrationally confident in his bunting abilities. But it looks like he's going to take a swing here.
Here comes the full count pitch. And it's in there for strike 3, so that'll record out number 1 for the Big Train as number 23, Jack Guerrero steps up to the plate.
Again, as you said, Phoebe, Guerrero subbing in at first base last night for Emilio Gonzalez, who took a ground ball off the right leg and had to be taken out of the game. Saw him during warm-ups. He looked relatively healthy, but probably held out for precautionary measures as we still have a long summer ahead of us, and Gonzalez figures to be an important part of the lineup.
Big Train has 2 runners on base. Wesley at second, Diaz at first. Here comes the first offering to Guerrero. It is fouled off behind him.
I must say, behind us to the right is the Big Train bullpen. Behind us to the left, lovely foliage here at Prince George's CC. Sometimes you forget how many trees there are, especially here in Maryland. Real pretty out here in Largo.
Not pretty getting here, though.
Very-
Hour and a half of traffic.
very
Here comes
good
the
call.
0-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt. And Wesley will use that opportunity to chug on over to third base, putting Diaz at second. Your Big Train now has 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out on the board. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And it's gloved down low for ball 2.
You know, the funny thing about there being so many trees here, not one is blocking the sun.
The sun, which is just beating down on us.
Said earlier, I'm going to probably end this summer with a pretty gnarly farmer's tan. I'm already
Starting to get there.
on my way.
Here comes the 2-1. Chop foul behind Guerrero.
Might use
He'll
our
step off the plate for a second.
off day on Tuesday just to even myself out. As I think the Mafia boss was discovered back there in the Big Train bullpen. A lot of brouhaha
Can hear a lot of excitement behind us.
amidst the pitching staff.
Here comes the 2-2. And it's in there for strike number 3. So that'll be out number 2 for the Big Train. As number 22, Landon Franklin, the shortstop, steps up to the plate.
Kelly's now caught 4 Big Train batters looking.
Big Train with 2 runners still in scoring position, but now 2 outs on the board for Franklin as he steps up to the plate. The catcher tonight, Luca Periello, on deck for the Big Train. Here comes the first offering to Franklin. High and up, high and inside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Chop foul.
Now the chances are unlikely, but it is possible. We are in pretty good foul ball territory. I'll have my left hand ready.
Thank you.
My
I would
catching
hate
hand.
to take a ball to the dome right now.
I trust you to catch it.
Here comes the 1-1. Gloved up high inside for ball 2.
Unless you don't trust yourself to catch it.
I don't. I'd have to look directly up.
I do that a lot. I figure you would do as well.
Here comes the 2-1. Chop foul behind Franklin.
So again, we find ourselves in a similar situation. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Let's see if Bethesda can reverse their fortunes with runners in scoring position. Pretty good
Franklin
guy
now.
to do it here in Landon Franklin.
That's right. He now sits 2-2 in the count. Again, 2 outs on the board. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Glove down low and outside for ball 3. So Franklin stays alive at the plate. Again, nothing on the scoreboard yet, so Big Train has the opportunity to take the lead here. Here comes the full count pitch, and it's chopped down center field. It did not drop. It's gloved by Ellis Reed out in center field, so that'll wrap up the top of the second inning. Stay tuned as we head into the bottom of the second.
Watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get.
And we're back here on Big Train Baseball Network. 0-0 still on the scoreboard as the Grays take to the plate. Now up at the plate. First pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-1 on the count.
Got Greg Marmo leading off the inning for the DC Grays. He's a well-traveled man.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He'll chop that one down center field. It'll drop ahead of the wall for the base hit. And he'll round over to second. And he'll be caught up at second.
That was a well-traveled ball. Hit that one real hard. Bastion unable to get to it in time.
Now stepping up to the plate is going to be Anthony Rucco, number 9.
Awesome walk-up song. That is Fire Burning by the great Sean Kingston. As someone who played MLB 2K13 for far too many hours.
That's the first offering to Rucco. Gloved inside for strike 1. So the Grays doing well to get on base early on.
Someone who played MLB 2K13 for too many hours. That song resonates with me
0-1
very
pitch.
much.
That one missing the glove of Perriello, and with that, Mamo will steal third. So the Grays now with the runner on third. No outs on the board.
Anthony Rocco, the pride of Lake Helen, Florida, currently plays his college ball at Winthrop. Looking to lead them back to the NCAA tournament.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for Rucco for strike 2.
For the first time since 2006. 35 hits last season, just 1 home run, but 18 RBIs. Looking to get one here.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Chopped up high. Going down right field. Gloved cleanly by Guerrero at first base. And that'll record out number 1 for the Grays. Again, they have 1 runner on third. As number 38, Ellis Reed, will step up to the plate. Reed making the final catch in the previous inning from center field.
At North Carolina A&T last year, hit just 9 of 52. A literal handful of RBIs. a.k.a. 5. Not sure why I dressed that one up so much.
Here comes the first offering to Reed. Chopped up high again, behind him. And that'll go behind the Grays dugout.
I'm telling you, Phoebe, I'm very confident in your ability to make a catch if the ball ever comes our way.
Barehanded.
Are you going to make a glove appear out of thin air? I don't see any within our vicinity.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He'll go in for the bunt.
A little squeeze play action, trying to get Marmo home from, trying to send Marmo home from third.
Unsuccessful though. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He'll chop that one down to center field. It'll drop, but they'll make the tag out at first. But damage is done as Marmo makes his way across home, and with that, the Grays take the first lead of the game, putting one up on the board. Now stepping up to the plate is going to be number 16, Michael Lavanga.
Lavanya, one of many members of the William and Mary baseball program. Didn't play last season.
Here comes the first offering to Lavanya. Oh my goodness, he broke his bat on that one.
Prescott so nonchalant about that one. I gotta say, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty impressive. He hit that one hard. Split the bat almost in half there.
The beauty of the CRS-EBL being a wood bat baseball league.
Get to see some action like that.
You don't get that with an aluminum bat, I'll tell you that.
As an airplane flies over us. But that'll wrap up the bottom of the second inning. Stay tuned as we head into the top of the third. And we're back here at the Bethesda Big Train Baseball Network. DC Grays taking the first lead of the night. They lead 1-0 as number 18, Luca Periello, steps up to the plate for the Big Train.
The lone switch hitter in Big Train's lineup, and from the left side. Haven't seen much of that so far.
Comes the first offering to Periello. It's gloved high and inside. Ball number 1. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Chop behind him.
Get a friendly hello from Jack Robinson.
You want to say hi?
Yeah, I said
The pride of Roanoke College here on Big Train Baseball Network. As Tyler Kelly will step off the mound. Jack, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Feeling a little better after some McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long day. It's hot. Long drive, you know.
As the 1-1 pitch is low for a ball. I gotta say, I was a little worried about you guys. We were in a bit of a food crisis to start the game, but thankfully we were able to get you all a little bit of Mickey D's.
Oh, hey. Aiden Kelly was getting a little cranky down in the bullpen. He wasn't doing too hot.
2-1 pitch. That one's lined to the right field, and that'll drop for a base hit.
I think Jay's gonna do some real problem here. I think Jay's gonna be a big problem for this team here.
As we kick it back to the top of the lineup with Jordan Crosland as the airplane over us trying to steal my thunder here on the play-by-play.
Yeah, what's up with all the flyovers? Is there a base close or something?
Well, that sounded like a military plane. That didn't sound like a commercial jet.
Oh, that was 100% a jet.
No, not one with
military
like,
jet.
we're
We're on the
have
same level.
civilians. Good.
I got you.
First pitch to Crosland, pulls back the bunt, but that'll be in there for a
Yo,
strike.
JB, you want to shout out your Instagram, bro? You want to shout out your Instagram, bro? Shout out your Instagram, bro. JB said he wants to say hi to his mom. She's out there watching. Everyone says hello.
So nice, so wholesome.
Yeah. We're losing right now?
Yes, we are currently down.
You can't see anything from the bullpen. The bullpen's 100 feet the other direction of the field.
Were you all playing a game of Mafia back there?
Yes, we are. We currently still are. It gets very intense back there.
No, Mafia, you don't play around with that game.
Oh, no, I'm king. I can't, I don't get beat. I don't get beat in that game.
Here comes the 0-1 to Crosland. Off speed in there for strike 2.
That's up. That's up. Come on, Blue.
Crosland
That's definitely up there.
looking to avoid his second strikeout and 2 at-bats.
What you got looking down on this thing? What's you looking at? Oh, just like everyone is playing?
Yep.
Oh, this is kind of sick, though.
Got down all the names and numbers so we make sure we're saying
what?
people correctly.
So it says facts about everybody.
Oh.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's low for a
That's
ball.
fire. All right. Oh, you get the same joint?
Yep.
Y'all are, like, seriously locked in.
Yeah, no, we got to be locked in for 9 innings just as you all are. Maybe not you all in the bullpen, but at least everybody in the starting lineup.
Depends. We're locked in at home. You just can't see the field at all from back where we are.
1-2 pitch is fouled off.
Yo, I've never heard of this school before. I did not know this school was here, like, at all. It's a nice field, though.
Oh, very nice field. I have a personal love-hate relationship with turf, but very nice ballpark here at Prince George's Community College.
Yeah, it is our first game on turf. It's
1-2 pitch is grounded to the third baseman.
Oh, he's not him.
Marmo.
Nah, that team's not like that. No way.
As they cannot turn the double play, although they do get the force at second. So Perriello's retired, but Crosland makes it to first. And so with 2 outs and a runner on, that'll bring up the 2-hitter, Jaden Bastian.
Let's go, JB. Nah, turf is weird, man. I don't like playing on turf, especially pitching. It kind of sucks. Yeah, it's slippery, especially if you don't have, like, cleats. But, like, even with molds, it still kind of sucks.
Are you wearing turfies or cleats right
Yeah,
now?
I'm wearing turfs.
Okay.
I didn't change shoes. I'm not playing today, nothing, you know. I kind of just played a little catch when about 200, aired it out, felt good. But no, turf is brutal. I feel like if you play on turf, they should let pitchers wear spikes just because it's so hard to get a grip. It's not bad with molds, but you feel unsafe with it.
That's fair. And another pickoff attempt unsuccessful again. So Crosland commanding a lot of attention over there at first base. I think we're about, yeah, at least this inning, I think we're 0 for 3.
I just need to give up at this point. I hate picking off. I hate it. No, I don't like it. I did it one time the first game. No, I didn't like it.
Well, especially for righties. Seems like a chore to flip your body
God,
360 degrees. We see with the lefty Evan Smith, who got him centered or lacking last night, but that's a lot easier for him as a lefty. You don't have to do a whole lot comparatively to righties.
Yeah, especially, dude, you gotta, like, shorten your arm slot, like, be quick. I don't like it. I got a long.
There goes Crosland, as the throw down to second is not in time.
That was, yeah.
So the attention at first base was warranted, as Crosland will steal himself in a scoring
Jay's got
position.
wheels. Jay can move. Jay's got wheels. We do have a lot more speed on this team than we did last year, I think, for sure.
I was going to say, are you noticing any major differences from the 23 team comparatively to this year?
Yeah, like good and bad, I would say.
What are the good? Tell us about the good.
The good, I feel like we're more I feel like we're more aware of, like, everything that's going on. I think we're a lot smarter on the base path. At the same time, but we're just 10 times faster than we were for sure.
Good.
Like JB, Jay, Carter, I feel like everyone can pretty much move pretty quickly. Like last year, it was like there was only like 2 or 3 guys that were like really fast, but
As
this year
2-0
they're
pitch in there for a strike.
I don't know. Is Peyton still in, right? He's still pitching?
Yes,
Okay.
Peyton's still pitching.
Okay.
Looking good so far.
Good. Yeah, he fuzzes. Florida State now? Crazy.
So after Sunday, you guys will have seen all the teams in the Calvert League.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Then you're just playing the same teams again.
There's a pop him into foul territory down the third base line. As Marmor ranges over, and he makes the catch.
Wait, really? We played all the teams already?
Yep,
How many
Sunday.
teams are in this?
There's
Oh,
8 teams in this league, including the big train, 4 in each division.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I would say we shouldn't have lost at all. Like, the Aces, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're a good team. They got good players, but there's no way we should lose to that team. And what's their names? Who did we play? Was it
Last night was Southern Maryland.
So, yeah, that was the exhibition game, right?
No, that
Yeah.
was last night. There's a fly
Yeah, but
ball
we
in the
played-
center field.
That ball was kinda
Back
deep.
goes Reed. At the warning track, he'll make the catch for out number
Yeah,
3.
we played them on exhibition night. Yeah, we beat them. Yeah, we
and then,
shouldn't have lost that
and then
team.
you played them last night.
Yeah, they're not good. Nah, no disrespect to the people on that team, but no chance. Less walks. We had like 13. Oh yeah, okay. The question was, what could we do different against the Aces? I would say pitching-wise, definitely less walks since we had 13 walks, or just like they got on for free.
Hey, Jack, we're going to talk to you next half inning, maybe off the mic, but we appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your company. Thank you for
Yeah.
hopping on. We're going to be right back here on Big Train Baseball Network.
Thank you.
Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You'll be my summer crush. You think you should come and pick me up, 'cause nothing feels as good as summer. 'Cause nothing feels as good as summer.
And we're back here at Big Train Baseball Network. Thank you again to Jack Robinson for stepping on the mic. Number 19 up at the plate for the Grays as he'll hit a base hit. I was caught in the over by the warning track by Chris Diaz, so that'll record out number 1 for the Grays. Bottom of the third. Now stepping up is going to be number 22. Eli Owens, top of the Aces, top of the Grays lineup. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Owens, in there for ball number 2.
You're actually going to be joined by another guest from the bullpen.
It's Max Martzoff.
Howdy,
Hey guys,
Max.
how you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm
Here comes
fantastic,
the 2-0
thank you.
pitch. It's in there for strike number 1.
Max, we were talking to Jack Robinson last half inning. It looked like you all were in a pretty intense game of Mafia back there in the bullpen.
Oh yeah,
Here
no,
comes
Mafia
the 2-1
gets
pitch
intense.
to Owens. Gloved up high for ball number 3.
Looked like it was getting intense.
Oh yeah, we got some very stern looks from our owner, Bruce Hank. I hope he didn't hear me say that.
Who was the victor of the Mafia game? Here comes the 3-1. And it's in there for strike 2.
The victor was the townspeople. They
Oh, wow.
it got down to the last 3, and they eventually voted Aiden Rittenauer off as the godfather.
Man.
Here comes the full count pitch to Owens. And it's in there for strike number 3. So that'll be out 2 for the Grays, who are currently leading 1-0.
It's a good outside fastball by Peyton there.
Yeah, Max, I was going to ask about Peyton because he's looked awfully good in his first few appearances.
Yes, he has.
Received a lot of recognition in the Atlantic Sun Conference last season. Another Florida collegiate baseball player out of Jacksonville. What have you liked out of his game thus far?
I like the way he attacks early. He
Comes the first offering to Steinhardt. Gloved up high for ball 1.
I also like the way he doesn't always throw the same pitch first. He try to get ahead with his off speed, and if he doesn't do that, he'll just come back with a fastball. I believe he'll do it right here.
Comes the 1-0.
Oh, he went back to the slider.
Gloved inside for strike 1. So you're talking to Jack Robinson about the turf field. This is your guys' first time playing on turf this season. What are your opinions on turf fields? Here comes the 1-1.
I believe
Inside for strike 2.
I believe turfs are more balanced than they are with grass and dirt because you won't get any of those strange hops like we do at Shirley Povich, that's for sure.
Here comes the 1-2. Foul it off behind him.
But I can tell you what, if the field was in Florida, that would not be fun at all.
Definitely get a lot hotter.
Oh, yeah.
That heat just rises up from the turf. Here comes the 1-2. Check swing for ball 2. 2 outs on the board for the Grays. And the batter now sits at a 2-2 count. Comes the 2-2. He'll chop that one up high. And it's picked off. And that'll wrap up the bottom of the 3rd inning. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you back here for the top of the 4th.
Meet me in the corner, love. Meet me in the corner, love. Meet me in the corner, love. Boogie down, mix up. Boogie down, fix up. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you groove. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you boogie down. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Boogie down.
And we're back here at the Big Train Baseball Network. Top of the 4th inning as number 20, Matt Wesley, steps up to the plate. Your Big Train is trailing 1-0 so far. Here comes the first offering to Wesley. He'll chop that one down left field. And he is safe at first base. First baseman, number 12, Joey Wilga, not making the catch in time.
That was a heck of a stop by Marmo at third base.
He really had to reel back to catch that one.
I laid out on the turf. Fortunately, couldn't Manny Machado it over on first base. And Wesley's going to be safe at first to start the inning.
Now up to the plate is number 27, Chris Diaz. Here comes the first offering to Diaz. Glove down low for ball number 1. Now, as Max Martzoff pointed out, now that they're playing on a turf field here at Prince George's Community College, you avoid some of those weird hops that you might see on a dirt field. So hopefully that'll be advantageous to the outfield.
We've seen a lot of those weird hops at Povich, especially in the infield. Those ground balls just hopping up and deflecting off of the upper bodies of the infielders, especially the shortstop and the
Here
second
comes the
baseman.
1-0 to Diaz. It's in there for strike number 1.
Yeah, this one you just have to deal with speed. But if you can get a good read on the ball early, you should be A-okay as an infielder.
Pickoff attempt at first unsuccessful, so Wesley again commanding a lot of attention over that first base. Robinson said he wasn't a fan of going after the pickoff attempt. Tyler Kelly seems to have no issue with going after the pickoff attempt at first. Here comes the 1-1 to Diaz. He'll chop that one down right field. And it is in the glove of Michael Lavagna. And with that, Jackson Giacconi will step up to the plate for the big train. Wesley still at first base. Kelly taking his time at the mound. Pickoff attempt at the first base, unsuccessful yet again.
Well, for some right-handed pitchers, they're A-okay, shortening up that release and whipping themselves around 180 degrees.
Here comes the first offering to Giacconi. Gloved up high. Ball number 1.
Now, shortening that release is difficult, especially considering that a pitcher's regular pitch is so elaborate and they use the entirety of their wingspan. Kelly able to do it, though.
Here comes the 1-0.
There goes the runner.
Fouled off in front of Giacconi, and Wesley will have to travel on back over to first base. Here comes the 1-1 to Giacconi. Fouled off behind him. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss from Giacconi. So that'll send up number 23, Jack Guerrero. Matt Wesley's still sitting comfortably on first base. 2 outs on the board now for the big train, who are trailing by 1.
Yeah, I don't know about comfortably. He looks awfully excited to leave, as the rest of his team would probably like him to do so.
See if he continues to command a lot of attention for himself over at first base. Comes the first offering to Guerrero, fouled off behind him. Franklin will go chasing after that. They don't have their typical bat boy, Owen Lieberman. Pickoff attempt at first, again unsuccessful.
Kelly trying to keep Wesley comfortable there at first base, not wanting him to take much of a lead.
Yeah, it seems to be very bothered with Wesley over on first base. Here comes the 0-1 to Guerrero. Gloved up high for ball number 1. Here comes the 1-1. Gloved outside for ball number 2.
Great eye there from Guerrero.
To not go biting after that one.
Yeah, Giacconi had bit on a low fastball to strike out in the last at-bat. Good job by Guerrero not following suit.
Being observant of your teammate. Here comes the 2-1. Fouled off behind him. So he'll step off the plate for a second. It's being observant of your teammates, watching them at the plate before you step up yourself, taking note of what the pitcher has been throwing and what sends down your teammates.
Yeah, a lot of times Mizzou softball, for example, if a batter struck out, they would have a long conversation with the batter on deck on what to look for from the opposing pitcher.
Here comes the 2-2. And he'll chop that one down to center field, gloved cleanly by Anthony Rucco, and that'll wrap up the top of this 4th inning. Thank you, and stay tuned at Big Train Baseball Network. And we're back here at Big Train Baseball Network here at Prince George's Community College. Peyton Prescott's still on the mound for the Big Train, who are currently trailing 1-0. Comes the first offering. It's high and outside for ball number 1.
It's going to be Patrick Nihas. Again, a well.
Here comes the 1-0 to Nias. It's big swing and a miss from Nias.
He's got a big stance adjustment from early 2023. Holds the bat a lot higher over his head than he used to.
Here comes the 1-1. He'll chop that one down to center field. Gloved by second baseman. Sent over to first. And it is in time, as that'll record out number 1 for the Grays.
Good stop by the shortstop, Franklin, having enough urgency to get that one on to first. And one of the bigger bats in DC's lineup is now retired, but another tough task for Prescott as he'll get the cleanup hitter, Joey Wilga.
Number 12, Joey Wilga, stepping up to the plate. Here comes the first offering to Wilga. Gloved inside for strike 1.
Again, struck out a lot last season at Richmond.
Here comes the 0-1. He'll foul that one up behind him. Luca will do his best to get under it. So Wilga still sent down on that one, as that'll send up number 51, Greg Marmo, to the plate. 2 outs on the board now for the Grays, who again are leading 1-0.
As I was saying, in his first at-bat, a well-traveled man. Grew up in Bluffton, South Carolina, went to high school at IMG Academy.
The first offering to Marmo. Gloved up high for ball 1. He had to jump back out of the way of that one.
Went to IMG Academy in Florida. Started his college career at Gonzaga in Washington State, then transferred back east to George Washington.
Comes the 1-0. Check swing, and that'll record strike one for Marmo. As you mentioned, he went to IMG Academy. I noticed a lot of players in the Grays lineup went to IMG Academy, as that next offering to him is in there for a strike two.
Very prestigious athletic institution, producing a ton of high-profile collegiate athlete and a bunch of professional ones as well.
Here comes the 1-2. And it's in there for strike three, and that'll wrap up this fourth inning. Your Big Train still trailing by 1 run. Stay tuned as we head into the top of the 5th inning. We're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the 5th inning. Your Big Train still trailing by 1 run. As shortstop number 22, Landon Franklin, steps up to the plate. Excellent save in the last inning to send down Nios. Here comes the first offering to Franklin. Gloved inside for strike one.
Got a little action in the Big Train bullpen. That is Ariston Vesey, Eurasian freshman at the University of Alabama, currently warming up.
He recently just arrived to the Big Train. Here comes the 0-1 to Franklin, popped up high. It's reeling down left field, and it is picked up by Ellis Owens. And with that, Franklin will record out number 1 for the Big Train. Now stepping up to the plate is your catcher, Luca Periello. As we mentioned, him and Cole Constable have been switching off that role night after night. Here comes the first offering to Periello. He'll nail that one down center field.
That one's caught by Lavagna.
Did not drop. Picked up by Lavagna, so that'll record out number 2 for the Big Train. Now we return to the top of the lineup. It's number 1, Jordan Crosland.
Got to say, these first 2 at-bats, although both of them have resulted in outs. Pretty good contact by both Franklin and Periello. Let's see if Crosland can follow suit.
Here comes the first offering to Crosland. It's gloved down low for ball 1. I would agree. They're making some great contact on the balls, which is what you want to see. You want to see the bats coming alive at the plate, making some contact. Here comes the 1-0. Fouled off down left field.
That was great contact, just a little early there from Crosland.
But as we mentioned, with the turf field, you don't get those weird hops that you see at Shirley Povich on a grass field, so that outfield and the infield really do have an advantage here. The much smoother surface, one that the Big Train is just seeing for the first time this season. as all their previous opponents have been grass fields. Here comes the 1-1 to Crosland. That one bounced on the turf
I guess
ahead of him.
Should elaborate a little more on my love-hate relationship. I've just had a few turf burns. Not a fun time. Would not recommend at all.
As Max Martz, here comes a 2-1 to Crosland. Down low for ball 3. As Max Martzoff so eloquently put it, he's so glad we're not in the Florida heat right now on a turf field, as the heat really does rise when you're standing on a turf field. Here comes the 3-1 to Crosland. We'll swing at that one, send it down right field. And it is gloved again by Lavagna. So that'll wrap up the top of this 5th inning. Your Big Train still trailing by 1 run. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the bottom of the 5th.
Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up. 'Cause nothing feels as good as summer love. Move so fast. Here's hoping this night will last. Just let go. We're spinning with our eyes closed. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network, bottom of the 5th inning. First at bat is going to be number 9, Anthony Rocco. We have a new pitcher on the mound. It's Ariston Beasy, number 10, as the first offering to Rocco is down there for ball number 1. As you mentioned, you saw Beasy warming up in the bullpen. He's taking over on the mound now. Here comes the 1-0. That one is sent down left field, and it dropped. So that'll be a base hit for Rocco. I heard VZ and our manager Sal Colangelo speaking before the game, so we're expecting VZ to throw a few innings today. It is his first day here in Bethesda. I guess he's not actually in Bethesda.
No, we're about an hour away from Bethesda, but
It's his first day here with the team, so trying to get him up on the mound. Here comes the first offering to number 38, Ellis Reed. It's in there for a strike.
Largo and Bethesda, that's just a stone's throw. If you are the mountain man, that's a stone's throw. If you're average civilians like us,
Pickoff attempt at first unsuccessful.
might take a few throws to get there.
But regardless, it's his first day here with the team, so just trying to get his arm warmed up, get him a couple of throws from the mound. Here comes the 0-1. That one's fouled off literally right over our heads, over the Big Train dugout tonight.
It might happen. Just have your catching hand prepared, I'm telling you.
And of course my hands are full with papers.
Then
Got to keep one free now.
Hey, as Snoop Dogg once said, just drop it like it's hot. You get 2 hands.
Here comes the 0-2 to Reed. He'll foul that one off down left field. And with that, Rocco is held up at first base.
VZ, I believe, we were saying this during the inning break, but I believe he's the youngest player on this Big Train roster. Was born in July of 2005.
Well, only 2 years after me. Only 2 years. Here comes the 0-2. That one's flied down to right field. I didn't see where that one went.
That was a mammoth foul ball. Almost off the, well, it looked like storage units here down the first base line here at Prince George's Community College.
What started to line down right field went way over the Big Train dugout, over to the storage containers, as you mentioned. Pickoff attempt at first again, unsuccessful.
VZ, a native of Tyrone, Georgia, went to Stars Mill High School, classed up, which is why he is here, not a rising senior in high school.
Here comes the 0-2. Fouled off behind Reed, as Rocco will successfully, or try to successfully steal second, but he'll have to jog back on over to first base now. Reed still alive at the plate. Rocco commanding a lot of attention at first base. There's the 0-2 again, fouled off behind Reed. Still at the plate for the Grays, who again are leading this ball game 1-0. No outs on the board yet for the Grays. One runner on first. Here comes the 0-2 again. Swing and a miss to send Reed down swinging. That'll send up number 16, Michael Lavagna.
Phoebe, listen to the song.
As he'll make his walk up to Enter Sandman, the pride and joy of all Virginia Tech Hokies and anyone who has the chance to head over to Lane Stadium.
And Mariano Rivera. Can't forget about him. He's pretty important, too.
Here comes the first offering to Lavagna, in there for ball one.
I will say, although I did root against Virginia Tech growing up as a U-Miami fan, they have one of the easily 10, probably 5 best football entrances in the entire country.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch, gloved outside for ball number 2.
And then when the PA announcer goes, enter the Hokies. I remember watching their season opener against North Carolina a couple of seasons ago. Looked like a music festival was happening with the way the seats were packed, but I was a little bit jealous.
That was my freshman year. Another pickoff attempt at first base, unsuccessful again. That was my freshman year at Virginia Tech when they opened up with UNC Chapel Hill. That was an incredible game coming into the stadium as a freshman, my first time seeing it. The stadium just being alive and being able to jump to Enter Sandman for the first time. That is definitely a memory I will never forget. Here comes the 2-0. Big swing and a miss from 16, Michael Lavagna. That'll be strike one. Number 9, Anthony Rocco, still on first base, but commanding a lot of attention from Ariston Beasy. Here comes the 2-1. Chopped down to left field.
Fair ball.
Fair ball as it is inside, and with that, the gears on Reed as he will round over to home, and that'll scratch across run number 2 for the Grays, who now take a 2-0 lead. Lavagna now on second.
Sweet hustle there from Anthony Rocco, scoring all the way from first base.
To round on home. He had some impressive gears on him, as that'll send up number 19, the 9-hitter Charlie Femley. I think it was the Enter Sandman that really hyped him up. Had to have been. Can you tell us a little bit about Charlie Femley?
Yes, I can. Another member of the William and Mary baseball program, hailing from Lynchburg, Virginia, playing his high school ball at Virginia Episcopal.
Comes the first offering to Femley, gloved outside for ball number 1. Can see him donning his William and Mary hat at the plate. Helmet. Cap?
Helmet.
Helmet.
Or bucket, whichever
Bucket.
one you prefer.
Here comes the 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Femley.
I'm sure William and Mary both of them would be very happy that he's representing the school on his noggin.
As well as his gloves, you can see there some green gloves. I don't know if that's intentionally for William and Mary or if he just likes the color green.
Well, the grays are navy and white, so that
Here
would make
comes the
sense.
1-1. And it's in there for strike 2.
Now, Femley didn't play for the Tribe last season, but a very accomplished high school athlete. Hit almost 500 as a senior in high school and hit exactly 500 as a junior.
Here comes the 1-2, and it's in there for strike 3. So that'll record out number 2 for the Grays. They still have a runner on second as they send up the top of their lineup, number 22, Eli Owens. Again, the Grays are leading 2-0 in this early Saturday night ball game. First pitch was at 5 o'clock today. Here comes the first offering to Owens. Big swing and a miss for strike 1.
Owens, a rising sophomore at Washington and Jefferson, who went 16-4 in conference this past season, but falling to Salve Regina in the Division III regionals.
You can unfortunately hear a very loud tractor pulling away behind us. Here comes the 0-1. Looked at by Owens for strike 2.
My little brother, 1 year for his birthday, we got him a little John Deere tractor that he could drive around, and we had a lot of trouble bringing him inside. He was on it for hours on end.
I wanted one so bad. Those look so fun. Here comes the 0-2. Down low for ball 1.
I believe we still have it somewhere in our garage, though it might be tough for me, who is 6 feet tall, to drive a kid-sized John Deere
Cram
tractor.
into that plastic tractor. Well, speaking of John Deere, my mom has a John Deere hat that she let me borrow a few days ago. My dad picked it up for her on a work trip. Here comes the 1-2. He'll send that one over to the shortstop, Landon Franklin, who will throw it over to first baseman Guerrero, and that'll be out number 3 for the Grays. Your DC Grays are still leading 2-0 over your Big Train, Bethesda Big Train. Stay tuned on Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the top of the 6th.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network, bottom of the 5th inning. We've got number 2, Jaden Bastion, at the plate for your Big Train as he takes that first offering for a strike. Again, the Grays are now leading 2-0. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He'll chop that one over to center field, gloved by the shortstop, Brady Steinhardt. And that'll be out number 1 for the Big Train, sending up number 26, Davin Whitaker, to the plate. Here comes the first offering to Whitaker. Down low for ball 1. Kelly finally liking what he sees from the catcher. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Check swing from Whitaker. It's ball number 2. Whitaker likes to change up his style at the plate. So pitcher has a tough time getting a good read on his style as a player, as that next offering to him is in there for strike 1.
Yeah, looking at his batting stance from behind, it looks like that right foot is a little closer to his left. Sometimes it's been kicked out a little further or a little more behind.
Here comes the 2-1. Up high for ball 3.
But whatever the lower half of his body is, he is able to generate a lot of torque on the upper half of his body, which what makes him pretty dangerous.
Here comes the 3-1 to Whitaker.
Like that.
Send that off in foul territory down right field. So he'll stay alive at the plate here.
But you saw how fast he got his upper body around there. Maybe a little too fast as he fouled that one off into right field.
Now sitting at a full count. Here comes the full count pitch. That'll foul off behind him. You can hear the cheers of Go Witty coming from the stands, an affectionate pet name he's picked up during his time here with the Big Train. Here comes the full count pitch to Whitaker. Again, fouled off behind him as he'll step off the plate for a moment. He'll step back into the zone as he prepares for the full count pitch again. Here comes the 3-2. Fouled off again behind him, going over the Grays bullpen, or dugout. Don't think it quite reached their bullpen.
Which unfortunately is blocked from our angle by the Grays dugout. Can't tell if there's any action in there or not.
Here comes the full count pitch. That one is popped up high down left field, and it is gloved by outfielder Ellis Owens. So that'll be out number 2 for the Big Train, as number 20 Matt Wesley will step up to the plate. As you mentioned at his last at bat, a huge arm for the Big Train. Successfully got on base in the last inning and was commanding a lot of attention over at first. We'll see if he can get another base hit here. Some pause from the umpire as he goes to get a glass of water. Much advised with this heat here today. The sun is just beating down on us still.
Toasty Saturday evening here in Largo, Maryland.
Here comes the first offering to Wesley. Fouled off behind him.
That one off the mask of Femley at the plate, but a heck of a catch by Diaz here in the on-deck circle.
So Wesley now sitting 0-1 in the count. 2 outs on the board for the Big Train, who are trailing by 2.
Phoebe, that's going to be you when a foul ball comes our way. Nonchalant catch right over our heads.
I don't know if I have Diaz's style there, as the 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, or the turf, not the dirt. For ball 1, Wesley now 1-1 in the count. Here comes the 1-1. Popped up high. As you see the Bermuda Triangle gathering in left field, they'll make the catch, and that'll record out number 3 for the Big Train. So that'll send us into the top of the 6th inning. Stay tuned here on Big Train Baseball Network.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. 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 Boogie down, mix up. Boogie down, fix up. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up.
And we're back here at the Big Train Baseball Network, top of the 6th inning. Ariston Veazey still on the mound for your Big Train, as now number 52, Braden Steinhardt, steps to the plate for the Gray, who are currently leading 2-0 in this Saturday evening ball game. Got a nice breeze now coming through for us. Here comes the first offering to Steinhardt. It's gloved outside for ball 1.
Steiner currently a Marist Red Fox, one of the several Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference players in the CRS CBL.
Here comes the 1-0. That one bouncing in the turf.
Heck of a pick by Perriello, though. Seen a lot of those get away, especially when the catcher backhands it. That's why they tell him to block it with their body, but a good scoop nonetheless.
We've mentioned he's some really great defense behind the plate. We've seen it in his last appearances. The 3-0 is in there for a walk for Steinhardt. He'll head on over to first base, sending up number 30, Patrick Nyhaus, to the plate.
As Hell's Bells rain down upon the field here at Prince George's Community College.
Is that from their sound team, or was that Nyhaus'
Nope, that is
walk-up song?
That is a song. That is a song.
Here comes the first offering to Nyhaus. It's in there for strike 1.
I'm surprised more people don't have that as their walk-up song, especially for a hitter as good as Nyhaus.
It's definitely intimidating, I will say. Here comes the 0-1. Gloved up high for ball 1.
I gotta say, if we had to make a walk-up song band/artist Hall of Fame, AC/DC has to be up there.
Definitely.
First ballot.
What else is in your Hall of Fame? Here comes the 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Perriello will make the throw over to second, and it is in time for out number 1 for the Grays. So that'll send Steinhardt back over to the dugout. Nyhaus still alive at the plate. Great play by the catcher, Luca Perriello, to make that over to, I believe, the shortstop, Franklin, was the one who picked that up to make the tag out at second. Here comes the 1-1. Another big swing and a miss for strike 2. Sorry, for strike 3. That'll be out number 2 for the Grays, and that'll send up number 12, Joey Wilga, to the plate.
You ask who else I'd have in the Hall of Fame along with AC/DC? Probably Fleetwood Mac. They have a lot of good potential walk-up songs.
Our intern, Lily, does not like that suggestion, as the first offering to Wilga is in there for a strike.
Get Fleetwood back. Get Fleetwood back. Back up.
Can see Wilga sporting some bright red gloves to match his University of Richmond Spiders helmet. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing from him for ball 1. Again, Perriello doing well to field those balls. Or get behind. I think field works. Do you have a better adjective for his defensive play at the plate?
Probably block.
Block.
Glove, as you've said a lot today. But that's a good one.
Here comes the 1-1. And that one's in there for ball 2.
Despite some local dissent, I'm keeping Fleetwood Mac in the Hall of Fame.
All right. So we've got AC/DC.
Probably the White Stripes solely for Seven Nation Army.
Seven Nation Army is a good one for a walk-up song. Lily, again, disagreeing with your suggestions. BC will dig into the turf mound. Finally likes what he sees from the catcher. Here comes the 2-1. And gloved inside for ball 3.
Now, I mentioned this on an earlier broadcast, but if I were a relief pitcher, especially if I played for the Houston Astros, for example, who talk about space and rockets, I'd maybe do the final countdown by Europe. That's a pretty good one, I think. All right, 1 for 3. Finally on the board here.
Here comes the 3-1. And it's down low for ball number 4. That'll send Wilga over to first base, sending up Greg Marmo to the plate. And by the board, we do, of course, mean our lovely writing intern, Lily.
All right, let's see if we can get back to 500 here. I think Delta Dawn would be a really good one as well. Lily
On that one.
goes to Auburn
Here
University.
comes the first offering to Marmo. It's up high for ball 1.
That song epitomizes football in the South.
Been seeing a lot of that on TikTok.
Saying that it's not upbeat enough.
Here comes the 1-0. Down low for ball number 2. She does have a point. Every walk-up song has to be very upbeat, or at least intimidating.
Well, that's the thing. Like, is The Chain by Fleetwood Mac upbeat? No. It's really intimidating, though.
Is it? I wouldn't call it intimidating. I think it's a little... Here comes the 2-0.
Getting sandwiched by haters here. Having a rough go.
Sorry, it is caught outside for ball 3.
Let me think of more of a classic.
Sorry, that was strike 1.
I've heard a handful of Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
That's not intimidating either. Here comes the 2-1. Check swing.
All right, well, as the Beatles once said,
Went around, so that'll be strike 2.
you can't always get what you want. I'm trying to think of something that combines being upbeat while also being intimidating. Enter Sandman. AC. Oh, they already said that.
Well, Enter Sandman is Metallica,
Oh
not
my God, it's
AC/DC.
Metallica. Wow, I am struggling.
Here comes the 2-2. He'll foul that one off down right field.
Lily giving a suggestion. Shipping up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys.
That's a good pick.
How to cater to our audience. How about Kerncraft 4000? That's
Easy
the one that
picking.
goes, whoa. And then Penn State goes, we are Penn State.
Here comes the 2-2. And
Ooh.
that'll be in there to allow VZ. Sorry, not VZ. VZ's the pitcher that'll allow Marmo to walk on out to first base, sending Wilga over to second. So now stepping up to the plate is number 9, Anthony Rocco, with now 2 runners on base. Gray's already leading 2-0 here in this Saturday evening ball game.
As we hear AC/DC once again, that was Back in Black.
See, that's another good one. Here comes the first offering. Big swing and a miss from Rocco.
And we're getting another suggestion from our production assistant, Jordan Parham. We have Nights by Frank Ocean.
I don't know if that's intimidating enough for a walk-up song, although it is a good song.
Well, it's whatever gets the batter or the pitcher, depending on the situation,
True.
locked in.
Heard a lot of Natasha Bedingfielder in the past years as 0-1.
So we get
in
another
there
suggestion from
outside
Lily. We
for a
have
ball 1.
Freebird by Leonard Skinner, an American classic.
Again, the Grays have 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on base, already leading 2-0. Here comes the 1-1, fouled off behind Rocco.
Easy
For
trying
strike
to
2.
get out of a multiple runners jam here with runners on first and second. Would like to strand them there. Keep this game at 2-0.
And give the Big Train a fighting chance to come back in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the 1-2. Outside for ball 2. Tell us a little more about Anthony Rocco.
Well, he is not related to Ryan Rocco, the well-known broadcaster for Yes Network. Has become
Here comes the 2-2. down low for ball 3.
Has become, I wouldn't even say arguably, I would say he is the voice of women's college basketball. But Anthony Rocco from Lake Helen, Florida, playing his baseball at Winthrop. 35 hits last season, 1 home run, 18 RBIs.
Can see a big W on his bucket. Here comes the full count pitch. Big swing and a miss, so that'll wrap things up.
There's a W on his helmet, but the kids nowadays would have probably called that at bat an L.
As that'll wrap up the 6th inning. Stay tuned here on Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the top of the 7th inning. And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Heading into the top of the 7th inning, your Big Train is still trailing by 2 runs as number 27, Chris Diaz, will be the first to take the plate in the 7th inning.
We got a new pitcher on the bump.
It's number 32.
It's going to be Will Stambaugh from Lock Haven, hailing from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Built upon a 2023 season where he pitched sparingly for Lock Haven, just 7 1/3, allowing 12 earned runs. But this past season, dropped that ERA to 5.82 and 43 1/3. So looking to continue that positive momentum with a 2-run cushion as we start the top of the 7th inning.
Here comes the first offering to Diaz. It'll be fouled off down left field over the Grays dugout. So that'll be strike 1 for Diaz as he prepares for the 0-1 pitch. Here comes the 0-1. Again, fouled off down left field. Landing over the fence near some straggling fans in their camp chairs.
Now Stambaugh, a bit of a sidewinder. That's always fun and refreshing to see. We have a few of those here in the CRS CBL. He's the first one we have seen actually pitch in a Big Train game.
Here comes the 0-2. And it's outside for ball 1.
Actually, one of my best friends from high school, John McGowan, who is currently pitching at Marin College up in Northern California, also pitches very similarly to how Stambaugh is. That release angle a lot more horizontal than a regular pitcher.
Comes the 2-2. Again in there for a ball. So I think that was ball 2. Saw the scoreboard change preemptively. Maybe they were predicting the future a little bit.
A little bit covered by the outfield wall, but we're making do with what we have been given.
Here comes the 2-2. And
Wow.
that one is chopped down center field.
Wow.
And it drops in front of the wall for
That's a
base
homer.
hit. Oh, it went over the wall. And with that, Chris Diaz will jog in the first run for your Bethesda Big Train. They have now cut the Grays' lead in half. Diaz, the first one on the board for your Bethesda Big Train. As number 8, Jackson Giacconi, steps up to the plate. We'll see if he can capitalize on this positive momentum the Big Train has accrued.
I was actually about to mention one of the downsides of being a sidewinder pitcher is that oftentimes you sacrifice velocity for movement.
Here comes the first offering to Giacconi outside for ball 1.
And on that pitch, not a whole lot of movement, not a whole lot of velocity. And Diaz taking that high, far, and gone for Big Train's first run of the game to cut this lead in half.
Here comes the 1-0. Again, outside for ball 2.
Now, Stambaugh doesn't get as low to the ground as some of the more well-known sidewinders of the 21st century, namely Darren O'Day, Joe Smith. As we're going to have a quick mound visit here between Femley and Stambaugh. But a timely homer there from Christopher Diaz, making it just 2-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. Big Train looking to bounce back from their second consecutive loss last night to move to 4-2. The Grays looking to improve to that same mark as they are tied with the Senators at 3-2 in the South Division for the division lead. Whereas in the North Division, the Big Train a game behind the Gaithersburg Giants, who currently sit at 4-1.
They'll be seeing the Giants again early this week. On Monday, they'll see the Giants for the second time this season as Femley returns to his position behind the plate. Here comes the 2-0 to Giacconi, and it is in there for strike 1. Number 23, Jack Guerrero on deck for the Big Train. Here comes the 2-1. Fouled off behind Giacconi.
I do find Sidewinder pitchers funny in a way, because you're taught from a very young age to throw a baseball from a certain release point where we see most pitchers pitch from. And Sidewinder's like, actually, I'm going to move about 90 degrees closer to the ground.
Here comes the 2-2. And that one's in there for ball 3.
It's like if a basketball player just decided to shoot granny style, not just at the free throw line, but from the 3-point line and beyond. Imagine Stephen Curry dunking on the league from downtown, but with a granny shot.
Here comes the full count pitch to Giacconi. It's down low for ball 4. And with that, Giacconi will walk on out to first. No outs on the board for the Big Train. Able to scratch across 1 run across home plate. They now have 1 runner on base. A lot of positive momentum working for the Big Train in this inning. Jack Guerrero now at the plate for the Big Train. Here comes the first offering to Guerrero. Fouled off down left field.
And we've talked about this a little bit, getting runners on base early, but then actually doing the second step is getting those runners advanced and eventually home.
Diaz doing well to set that into motion, getting a home run for the first at bat of this inning. Here comes the 0-1, down low for ball 1.
Well, I do have to say, it is pretty easy to send runners home when the ball's over the fence, which is what Diaz experienced there as he almost hit a car. They're out in the makeshift parking lot beyond the center field fence.
Actually, that was very close to my car this time.
Pickoff attempt at first unsuccessful. Our GM Harrison informing us that that ball was very close to where he parked his car. Unfortunately, I'm hoping mine is far away enough this time. Here comes the 1-1. Fouled off over the Grays dugout.
I think Guerrero would have to break a world record in order to touch our car.
Hopefully our cars are safe this time. I was very nervous watching the Aces game as I realized I parked in a very, very unfortunate spot. Here comes the 1-2 to Guerrero. And that's in there for strike 3. So that'll be the first out for the Big Train as Giacconi successfully steals second. Catcher sending that over to second baseman Anthony Rocco, but not in time as Giacconi looks to be some discussion with the umpire. So Giacconi not making it over to second. He'll have to walk back over to first base. It looked like he was in time on that one, but
Oh, no, Giacconi, I think they changed the call on the field. He was ruled out.
he was ruled out. So that'll be the second out for the Big Train. 2 outs now on the board, no runners on base as number 22, Landon Franklin, steps up to the plate. First offering in there for a strike for Franklin. Here comes the 0-1. Big swing and a miss from Franklin for strike 2.
Again, that pitch, not a whole lot of velocity, a lot of movement. Getting Franklin out in front of that, swinging too early, and now he's down to 2 strikes with 2 outs.
Here comes the 0-2. It's outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-2 to Franklin. He'll pop that one up. Left field, foul it off behind him. So now he readjusts at the plate for the 1-2 pitch. Again, 2 outs on the board. Your Big Train trailing by 1 run now, thanks to Christopher Diaz. Here comes the 1-2 down low for ball 2. Here comes the 2-2. And Franklin will foul that one off down right field.
Just barely. Didn't miss the line by much.
As he'll now prepare for the 2-2 again. Comes the 2-2. He'll knock that one down right field again. And it is gloved for out number 3 for the Big Train. So that'll wrap up the top of the 7th inning here. Your Big Train able to cut into their score deficit, now trailing only by 1 run. We'll catch you back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. And we're back here at the Big Train Baseball Network, bottom of the 7th inning. Bethesda Big Train trailing by 1 run now. Ariston Beasy still on the mound as his first offering to number 38, Ellis Reed, is down low for ball 1. Again, Diaz with a bomb down right center field as Ellis will chop that one over to shortstop. Landon Franklin makes the throw over to first in time for out number 1 for the Grays.
Couple of nice plays there at short from Landon Franklin today.
It's been very great in the infield. And we're seeing a lot of great communication between the infielders and the outfield. Again, something we mentioned that comes with time, getting to know your players, as now number 16, Michael Lavagna, steps up to the plate. 1 out on the board for the Grays. Here comes the first offering. He'll fly out towards right field.
That's a foul ball.
Fouled off right field. And that'll be strike 1 for Lavagna. Here comes the 0-1. Down low for ball one. Again, VZ still on the mound for the Big Train, making his debut for the Big Train this season. Here comes the 1-1. Up high for ball two.
Now VZ does have a mean fastball, like his teammate Jonathan Stevens. But also sprinkles in that off speed every once in a while like he did there.
Here comes the 2-1. And that one's in there for strike two. So VZ battling back in the count. Here comes the 2-2. That one landing in the dirt. But again, Perriello is really great at blocking those balls behind the plate. He's got a very great defensive mind about him.
Perhaps he's watched a lot of Igor Shesterkin for the New York Rangers.
We'll have to ask him if we get a chance. If he watches hockey. Here comes the full count pitch. Big swing, but it's fouled off behind him.
Now, a lot of great athletes do take things from other sports and try to implement it into their game. Not an uncommon thing at all.
He was not a part of our hockey trivia TikTok that was made in honor of our Capitals night. Here comes the full count pitch. And that'll be ball number 4 for Lavagna, who will walk on out to first base. Perriello was not included in that TikTok, so I don't know if he has any hockey knowledge himself. Now up at the plate is number 19, Charlie Femley, the catcher, and the 9-hitter. Here comes the first offering to Femley. Check swing. That'll be in there for strike one. Again, the Grays now have 1 runner on base, 1 out on the board. Leading by 1 run as here comes the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. For strike 2.
That was probably VZ's best heater of the evening. That one blew right by Femley.
Here comes the 0-2. Another big swing and a miss as Perriello will make the throw over to first. Not in time, however, as Lavagna is still safe at first.
There's that high heat once again on the 2-strike pitch.
Now stepping up to the plate is the top of the lineup, number 22, Eli Owens. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we have a third headset. As I said, now up at the plate, it's the top of the lineup, number 22, Eli Owens. Lavagna still on first base. Grays with now 2 outs on the board. Here comes the first offering to Owens. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. VZ peeking over his shoulder over at first base. Here comes the 0-1. Looked at for strike 2. So VZ now ahead in the count. Grays with 2 outs on the board. Still leading by 1 run.
Looking like Peyton Prescott up there. As he was dominant in the 2 innings that he pitched earlier in the game.
Here comes the 0-2. Check swing. So Owens will stay alive. At the plate, count is now 1-2. Lavagna itching to get off first base. We'll see if he commands any attention from VZ. Here comes the 1-2. Lands in the dirt. Perriello goes to make the throw over to Landon Franklin, the shortstop, but not in time. So Lavagna will advance to second base. Again, Perriello, great defensive prowess behind the plate, but that one just got away from him. Wasn't able to make the throw over to shortstop Landon Franklin in time.
Again, those are the potential perils of trying to backhand that one without putting your body in front of it. If you're not able to come up with the ball, it gets behind you instead of in front of you. That's what allows a Gray to get themselves in scoring position.
1 Gray in scoring position, 2 outs on the board. Here comes the 1-2. Big swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll wrap up the 7th inning. Big Train still trailing by 1 run, but VZ leaves one stranded for the Grays at first. Stay tuned as we head into the top of the 8th. And welcome back to the Bethesda Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the top of the 8th inning. You've got your catcher, number 18, Luca Perriello, at the plate as the first offering to Perriello is in the dirt for ball 1.
So we're going to be joined by one of our lovely Kirchen fellows, Lily Stewart. Lily, how are you?
Thanks, guys, for having me on. How are you?
Doing great as that baseball is
Flied
hit
out
high and
towards
far.
center field. Center fielder Ellis Reed reeling back at the warning track. He'll make the glove save, and that'll record the first out for the Big Train in the 8th inning.
Guys, you know, if that went over the fence, I think I was going to have to stay on because that would have been
Good luck.
the tying run. I know.
Talked a lot about superstition on last night's broadcast. Where do you stand on the stition spectrum?
Oh, as my father says, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious, but that is about. I'm as superstitious as if I want to have
Comes
a good
the first
day.
offering to Crosland.
If I want to have a good day
outside for ball 1.
and I didn't make my bed and I have a good day, I'm not making my bed the next day. Sorry, Mom.
Here comes the 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Crosland, so
There's-
that'll be strike 1.
There's that killer off speed.
Speed. Yep. That killer off speed. Seen it a lot around the Cal Ripken League. Here comes the 1-1. Gloved outside for ball 2.
So, Lily, your father said that you're a little stitious.
Yes, it's the running joke in our family that I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
Could he have been plagiarizing the great Michael Scott?
He very could have. He loves his bandanas.
Here comes the
which
2-1. Gloved up high.
He loves his
ball
bandana. Oh,
3.
yeah.
he
could
loves
have
his
easily.
bandanas, so I basically live with a Michael Scott, if you will.
Here comes the 3-1. That one bouncing in the dirt. Looks like might have nicked Crosland in the foot there as he will walk his way out to first base. And that'll send up number 2, Jaden Bastion, to the plate. So the Big Train now have 1 runner on base, only 1 out on the board, sitting only 1 run behind the DC Grays in the top of this 8th inning.
Lily, you've had an observant eye on this game.
I have.
What have you liked from the Big Train? What do you think needs to be improved over these final couple innings?
Are we talking just today?
Here comes the first offering to Bastion, up high and in the zone for strike 1.
We are talking just today, but you can use
I can
past
use
instances
previous
to
games.
support whatever you say.
Yeah, I mean, I've been covering the past couple of games, and I think, you know, we've been really steady on the offense.
Pickoff attempt at first, unsuccessful.
However, our defense, I've seen that's where we kind of have been struggling just the tiniest bit. And I think, you know, it doesn't help when players are coming in at different times. So when we were on our win streak, we had, you know, the players that came in.
Another pickoff attempt at first base. Again, unsuccessful. Crosland commanding a lot of attention over at first.
They came in day 1, and now we're getting to see, you know, some new guys coming in from regionals. And I think, it just plays, but they're all gelling really well, especially on my end, having to deal with me and my social
Another
media.
pickoff attempt at first, again unsuccessful. That's 3 in a row.
Can they leave him alone?
Well,
Crosland's commanding a lot of attention for himself.
did steal a base earlier in the game. Has commanded a lot of attention throughout the first few games of this season, so I am not surprised.
Here comes the 0-1. Down low for ball 1.
And that home run gives me hope because I've seen once the bats get hot, they generally stay pretty hot. So hopefully that Chris has that homer. Our bats will continue to stay warm throughout this inning and into the 9th.
Another pickoff attempt at first, and again unsuccessful. So Crosland doing well to stay alive over at first base, but he's really commanding
His
a
new
lot of
nickname,
attention.
he might have to be Superman. The way he keeps sliding into base like that, he's our new Superman.
Here comes the 1-1.
There he goes.
Down low, he'll make his way over to second base. Throw from catcher
They
Femley
got him.
over to second baseman Anthony Rucco in time, so that'll record out number 2 for the big train. Bastion still at the plate, but Crosland now on his way back over to the dugout.
Looked like Crosland might have overshot second, scrambling to get back to the bag. That's where the tag might have been applied.
I don't know how the ump found that ball, man. From here, I lost it. The two of them were just going at it on the base.
Oh, yeah, because we have a really great angle
Here comes
over
the
here.
1-1 up high for ball 2. So I guess the pitcher doing well to pay that much attention to Crosland over on first base as we saw him make that attempt for second, unsuccessful. Here comes the 2-1. And it's in there for strike 2.
Crosland also exemplifying one of the downsides of playing on a turf baseball field. You slide super far. And he had done everything correct to get himself to second base, but unfortunately just overshot the bag. Now Bastion 1 strike
Here
away.
comes the 2-2. He'll send that one over to third baseman Greg Marmo. And he cannot make it over to first base in time, so that'll wrap up the top of this first inning. Your big train still trailing by 1 run. Catch us back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. Thank you, Lily, for hopping on the mic.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
We can
Or
both
Eagle.
we can both agree on Tigers.
We can. We're Eagle, everyone.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. 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 Boogie down, next up. Boogie.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Big Train. It's number 31, Aiden Kelly, as number 52, Brady Steinert, steps up to the plate for the Grays, who are still leading in this ball game 2-1. Tell us a little bit about Aiden Kelly. Here comes the first offering to Steinert. It's down low for ball 1.
Yeah, the pride of just the state of Florida in general. Grew up in Lakeland, currently plays college ball at Jacksonville, just like a couple of his teammates on the Big Train do. Pitch sparingly for the Dolphins.
Here comes the 1-0. That one's flied out to center field, and it is gloved by Jaden Bastion, the center fielder.
One of his fellow Dolphins.
And that'll be out number 1 for the Grays. Now stepping up to the plate is going to be number 30, Patrick Nias.
Walking up to Tom Petty.
It's a solid song. I wouldn't call it intimidating, but it's definitely lively.
It takes a little bit to get lively, but it gets there.
Here comes the first offering to Nias. It's in there for strike one. So again, your Big Train's trailing by 1 run. Here comes the 0-1 to Nias. It's in there for strike 2. The Grays getting their 2 sole runs on the board very early on in the game. Have been held scoreless for the past 6 innings, as Nias pops that one into foul territory down right field. That'll be strike 2 for Nias.
No, he's going to be
That'll
retired.
Strike 3 for Nias. As number 12, Joey Wilga, steps up to the plate. 2 outs on the board now for the Grays.
Must say the Grays have an all-star lineup of walk-up songs. That is Cruise by Florida Georgia Line. A melting pot of walk-up songs, too, from many different genres.
Here comes the first offering to Wilga, down low for ball 1. Again, Wilga at the plate sporting his Richmond Spiders helmet and his bright red gloves. Here comes the 1-0. Again, down low for ball number 2.
Again, the Big Train looking to avert their 3rd consecutive loss, while the Grays looking to improve to 4-2.
Here comes the 2-0. Up high for ball 3. Again, they've held the Grays scoreless for the past couple of innings. The Grays getting their runs on early, but have been unable to keep the bats hot. Here comes the 3-0. And it's in there for strike 1.
Not playing around on the 3-0 pitch, going with a fastball in the zone. Not trying to get cute.
Again, Kelly doing well to retire the first 2 batters. Here comes the 3-1. Popped up high, going down right field. But it is outside.
No, that one's caught.
That one's caught.
Yep.
My view is a little bit blocked by the dugout.
That's all right. We're overcome them.
But that'll wrap up this 8th inning. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the 9th inning. Your Big Train trailing by 1 run. We'll see if they can come up with 2 more as we head into the top of the 9th. And we're back here at the Big Train Baseball Network. Top of the 9th. First batter up to the plate for the Big Train is going to be number 26, Davin Whitaker. Again, your Big Train only trailing by 1 run. Here comes the first offering to Whitaker, and it's in there for strike 1.
So we're joined by another guest here, this time another one of our lovely interns. It's Jordan Parham. Jordan, how are you?
Howdy, y'all. Doing pretty good.
'Cause I'm sandwiched in between 2 Hokies.
I can't believe you said
Here comes the
Enter
0-1.
Sandman was by AC/DC.
Up high.
That was a
outside
slip.
for
That
ball
was
1.
that was an uncharacteristic slip up. I really do apologize. I did not mean to offend Metallica, AC/DC, or the students and anybody associated with Virginia Tech.
Here comes the 1-1. And that one is grounded down over to and a tag. The throw over to first base is in time, so that'll record the first out for the Big Train, sending up number 20, Matt Wesley, to the plate. Another Virginia Tech Hokie.
Quentin, you really got to come to a football game. in
I would
fall.
really love to. Unfortunately, unless conference realignment continues to get more out of hand, I don't think that's happening.
Comes the first offering to Wesley. Big swing and a miss for strike one.
Or unless both Missouri and Virginia Tech are really good at football this year. How confident do you feel that Virginia Tech will host a college football playoff game this year?
Last year we were 6-6.
Here comes the 0-1.
So
And it's outside for ball one.
maybe we could do a 7-5 or at least an 8-4, possibly, maybe.
I think you'd have to have the greatest schedule of all time for the committee to excuse a 4-loss team. Get them a top 8 seed.
Here comes the 1-1. And it's up high for ball two.
Hey, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. Especially after they fired Fuente.
Here comes the 2-1. That one popped up over our heads and over the dugout over to the bullpen for tonight.
But yes, although Mizzou does have a great football game tradition of playing Mr. Brightside, gotta say, not much stacks up to Enter Sandman.
Here comes the 2-2. Gloved outside for ball three.
Nah, first time I heard Mr. Brightside, I was in college. So,
Really?
yep, I've
That's
never heard it
surprising.
before that. I went to a party and then I heard Mr. Brightside. I'm like, what is this?
You know, I actually learned from listening to the radio on my drive home from Shirley Povich last night that it is the 20th year anniversary as Wesley makes that hit over to the third baseman, Greg Marmo. So that'll be out number 2 for the Big Train, sending up number 27, Chris Diaz, to the plate. As I was saying, it's the 20th anniversary of that Killers album.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
And they said it was one of the most influential songs for alternative rock. So I'm surprised you hadn't heard it until just a few years ago. Here comes the first offering to Diaz, foul it off over the Grays dugout.
Yeah, no, I grew up on R&B. My uncle, though, he loves Elvis. He's like an Elvis stan.
We have Emilio Gonzalez on deck, pinch hitting. Here comes the 0-1 as it is flied out towards left field, gloved by Ellis Owen. So that'll be out 3 for the Big Train. That'll wrap up this road game here. Big Train now with 3 consecutive losses. They'll head back home tomorrow morning to face the Southern Maryland County Braves. We'll catch you here on the Big Train Baseball Network tomorrow morning. First pitch is at 10 a.m. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Phoebe Winters and Quentin Corpuel on the call.